accent
Yep.
or something, he's like physically.
Good evening. Joe, would you like to start the roll call, please?
Mr. Livingston.
Here.
Mr. Leoni.
Here.
Mr. Colmer.
Here.
Ms. Belliver.
Here.
Ms. Simroli.
Here.
I'm Joe.
Okay, no public comments?
Wait a minute, we're all here and you're Joe, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. No public comment. Annual reorganization. Call for nominations for and election of chair. I'll arm wrestle anybody for it.
I nominate Dale.
Are you okay?
Yeah, if, unless somebody else wants to sit here. Okay, I accept the nomination.
I'll know if there's any other nominations.
Okay, any other nominations?
Then all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye, sorry.
Opposed? Okay. Call for nominations and election of vice chair.
You still good?
I'm still good.
I'll nominate.
Okay, nomination, Melissa. Any other nominations? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Call for nominations for and election of the secretary. You good?
Good.
Okay. I'll,
Fingers, my fingers really good.
okay. Melissa. Any other nominations? Okay. Signify, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So,
So this was a rollover, basically, so
adoption of minutes from December 2025.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any comments, questions?
Seemed like a long time ago.
I know, it's been a while.
Thank you for putting the minutes together, Joe. No, that's a good job. Seriously, I appreciate it. Okay, any comments, questions? All in favor of adopting the minutes as written, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Minutes adopted. New business, there's no new business. Old business. After the December meeting, Melissa and I had a discussion about trying to update the spreadsheet and maybe making some additions and changes. Melissa spent quite a bit of time putting this together. What I'd like to do is everybody go up to the screen and we'll kind of go through.
You can hover around my back, too.
Well, I think
I'm kidding.
we'll go through row by row.
So I have a question. This project spreadsheet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so this, if you remember, like, usually Joe will give us copies of two documents
Correct.
in our packet.
Right,
So this is a combination of those two
Okay.
documents.
all right,
And then Dale and I kind of went over, like, column what, like, what do we want to be able to sort on? You know, do we want to look at things we completed so he can do the report?
yep,
Do we want to look at things that we have in progress?
Okay.
Do we want to look at, like, lower budget things? So we can
Right.
filter on a bunch of different criteria if we're looking for planning out
Okay.
projects.
all right. And so is this equal to or different than the proposed? I thought we were gonna talk about a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year.
This is,
The
we need to
first
do
step?
this first.
Okay,
We
that's
need to
fine.
do this first, and then
Okay.
we
That's fine.
can talk about some other things. So let's go up and look at this.
And I'm probably gonna just, if we, like, for whatever comments and changes we have, I'm just gonna take notes right now,
Okay.
and then I'll edit it, like, have you made any
Can't
changes
you
since
see
I know it? Okay. I'll edit it separately, just so.
No.
it's not stuff
Yeah.
if I try to-
Can you?
So you update.
I will do this.
So do you want to take the notes and stuff up there, or you gotta sit back here?
I'll stay here, in
Okay.
case we need to, like, navigate around a little bit. But
Okay.
so we can see the whole thing, though, from the
I know, but,
view.
this actually
Works for you.
didn't work out.
So what we did is, you know, across the top, the categories, project source, project name, project type, project description, and then cost, if we've got estimated costs or whatever, benefit to the community, difficulty assigned to project status. There's a lot of things in here, okay? We can, and the purpose of this is to look at it. I mean, obviously, Joe's gonna want to probably narrow this down a little bit, or if for copy, you know, we can hide some of these columns and stuff and condense it so it's more printable. But at least this way, it's a little easier to kind of keep track of, maybe easier to keep track of things. I don't know. So there's no project source in this first one, Melissa.
I think we're not seeing the whole row.
You need to go over to the left.
There we go. Okay.
So that, yeah.
So, first one, and what we did is we just kind of put it on there. We combined the two spreadsheets together. There needs to be a little organization to this, but we kind of put this together and wanted to have a discussion about it. All the completed projects are listed at the end, so we haven't lost those off the list, but we've just pulled them out so that the projects that we're working on are more visible, and so this one's Chartiers Street PennDOT project. It's sidewalks and crosswalk, and this came off the sheet. So we've got, you know, dollar figures. I mean, what columns do we want to hide? Do we want to get rid of any of these?
What's benefit to community?
I was just gonna
Because
say,
that's what I was gonna
that's-
Because every project benefits the community.
Yeah,
Do you think we
no,
can,
no.
See,
should
I think
articulate what the benefit is, or do you think it's not necessary, or we could put that in the description too?
Are they kind of just
Well, I would
obvious?
hope it wouldn't be up there if it wasn't a benefit to the community.
See, so this, I think, is a carryover from
Yeah.
past, when we started the comp plan. Remember, we had to judge what we wanted for the comp plan based upon dollar amount, financial versus how it would benefit the community.
Like a high benefit, low benefit?
There could be there could be a thing like, yeah, your return on your investment. that
Right,
way.
right.
Yeah, yes.
Right.
So like, in respect to that one, is that like, benefits community, really, what's the community? So it's like, everyone in the community gonna use a sidewalk on Chartier
Right.
Street? Probably no.
No.
So I kind of feel like it's medium to low.
Okay.
Wouldn't you? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, is this column worth?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless you need it for that chart thing. But I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you want to be able to see things laid out on a graph,
It's kind of
Down the
subjective.
road.
Yeah.
I didn't want, yeah, I mean, I think that was probably the only one that I added, other than everything else would have come from one of those two spreadsheets, Joe, like the
Yeah.
separate ones. But if we can delete it, or? Okay.
Whatever you want to do.
Or you could change the name of it, like
Yep.
benefit versus cost, I don't know.
Yeah, because that's why we were doing it.
Because you have, because some of the projects are rather expensive. You know, we've been going through this for a while. It's like,
Right.
you had the low hanging fruit,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like, okay, if something is, if it's free and has a little benefit, but it does have benefit,
Right.
then do it, because it's free. You know, it doesn't, you know, but if it's something that's really expensive but has a super amount, it's gonna change everything for the better, then you probably should do that one too, because, you know.
Okay.
Well, I would think benefit to community would be something that would just be in general part of your thought process as we work
Yeah.
through these things. And I don't know that by having its own, and maybe I'm not understanding exactly, but having its own category that you now have to categorize, that's kind of what we're doing over here with just the concept of the project description.
Yeah, so Mike, how would you envision showing what you were just talking about?
That's what I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could probably, yeah, it's like, not about priority, not about priority, like, let's pick one like, like the roundabout at the top of the Bank Street.
Okay.
It's a huge benefit to Bridgeville as far as traffic on it.
Right.
It's really expensive, it's expensive,
Right.
but it's a big, big benefit. You know, it's something, hey, it's gonna cost money, it's gonna cost a lot of money, but there's funding involved, there's grant funding, it's not gonna be like Bridgeville taking the, you know, paying for it. So it's something that we really wanna pursue and do. You know, something like a trail that goes from, Fairview Park all the way to Newberry and through Lynch's and everything, that's gonna be expensive. There's a nice benefit to it, but it's gonna be really expensive, probably. You know, I would think, maybe some part, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's a benefit there, but there's benefit versus cost, is it there?
Right, right.
So I don't know, is there a formula that you can have where you have, $100,000 in one thing, and then you give if you have a benefit value of like 1 to 10 or something, and you give that a nominal number, and you come up with a formula,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we could probably build a pivot table with a combination of like cost expected, so the $1 through $4 signs, and then some other value.
Right.
What concerns me about trying to turn this into high-low or 1, 2, 3, there's some stuff that I think we can all say that is super important.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna cost $1 million. Okay, fine, but it's super important, so how do we raise $1 million? How do we get $1 million?
Yeah.
I mean, Joe's obviously a champion at doing things.
So I mean, we could change that column to priority, and we could just start throwing high, medium, low. I mean, the risk, like the downside of that is that at some point you're gonna get to where we've got 5 highs and we're gonna assign a couple of them super high.
Right.
And we have to like
This one's higher than that.
manage ourselves.
I mean, look,
around-
if you look at what we did for the comp plan,
Yeah.
Presley Road is still ultra high,
Yeah.
ultra expensive, ultra needed, and ultra difficult.
Right.
And
Yes.
so far, nothing's been accomplished because we don't know what to do,
Right. But
So
it's one of those, go
It
ahead.
would be a benefit to it would be an enormous benefit to the community.
Well, why don't we try changing that to priority? And then what we can do is we can look at, then we can filter this on benefit to community high, difficulty low,
Right.
cost low, and see what those ones,
Yeah.
what that list looks like. And then we can say, oh, okay, yeah, let's pick one from here. Or we can look at high, and see what the high ones are, to Bitsy's point, and say like, okay, we need to start planning for
Right.
grants or whatever for
Okay.
that group.
And you have a difficulty one there too.
Yep.
So, I mean, you literally could work out a formula, benefit versus cost versus level of difficulty, and come up with a chart that shows you which ones you wanna do first.
Yeah.
And length of time to do it. Like, hey, how long is this one gonna take? This is a butterfly garden, we can knock this out, in a year. And you can come up with a formula and say, holy cow, this one is super beneficial, but it's gonna take a lot of money, but it's not very hard to do because it just takes time and effort. So you gotta put that one on the list, but you gotta start now.
Right.
This one's super expensive, super difficult. It's going to take a lot of, it's super expensive, very difficult, has a little bit of benefit. You know what? That's the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
This one's super easy, has a pretty
Right.
good benefit, and we should knock it out, and then there's your long-term, short-term, medium-term.
I'm not sure that I am on the same page, but I just want to reiterate, just from spending a whole lot of time working with small businesses, which was what my consulting practice was about. It's real easy for a small business, if you sit down and talk about this, you need this, you have to have this, this is really
Mhm.
important. It's really easy for a small business to say, well, I can do this one, I can afford that. Yeah, I know that you can afford that, but you don't need that, even a fraction of what you need this. Let's figure out how do we get this done, instead of saying, yeah, okay, I'll do these four, because they're all, I can afford all these things.
Okay, so do we want to take and come, do we want to just hide these for the time
You
being?
can,
And then
you want the data there,
we want
but
the
you can
data,
hide.
okay,
It's like when you do like an access
okay.
spreadsheet, you know, there's data behind it.
Right.
Fill in, but you only see the numbers that you chug out.
Okay, so my plan here is I will take, can you go back to the top, please? You know, we've got this long list of, this is a combination of all the projects.
Yeah.
I think what I'm gonna do is I will take 10 of these projects, and each month we will take and sit down and rate difficulty. I'll come up with a scale, difficulty, cost, and what was the third one?
I liked Mike's length of time to complete. I
Yeah,
think that's
time,
a
how
good-
long you think, like the north end is obviously a long-term project. It is something that we need to do, you know,
Right.
to your point.
Right.
But you have to start, I mean, and we are starting it, we have started getting the ball rolling, talking, you know, so we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing, but it's a long-term project. That's a perfect example.
So what I will do is I will provide everybody with a list of, you know, 10, and I'll send an email out, but
Yeah.
basically rate where you think this is, and then we can all sit down together and kind of
Yeah.
figure out where it is.
Even cost,
Cost, length of time.
length of time, benefit, and you have one for difficulty, like how hard is it gonna be? Like, hey, we wanna put a bridge over across the library. Well, you have to, I mean, how difficult is that gonna be? Well, the railroad is gonna make it a real pain in the ass where it's very difficult. That's it.
Again, I may be stuck over here in the small business thing, but cost benefit analysis
Yeah,
from my world was that, a
Right,
cost benefit analysis done.
Right.
You didn't have,
Well,
I mean,
this is
I'm
gonna
not
be,
suggesting we don't need these many columns, I'm just saying at some point in time, those two things need to be the things that you are looking at the end of
Right,
the day,
right.
what's your benefit?
Well, that's
and what's
why
the
they're
cost?
gonna be on there, and I mean, you know, and they will be the depth of this project, because that's gonna be
we
the.
also need that, because we don't wanna, you know, hey, what's planning commission doing? All we're doing is north end,
Right,
come to a meeting,
yeah.
just north end. Well, what about these little projects we do in the meantime? You know, that aren't, maybe we do a budget. I mean, we do gotta look at the big ones, obviously, and those are,
I mean, but those are 3, 5, 10-year
Right,
projects
exactly.
that we always will need to put in the
Right.
back of our head.
well,
And do it, you know, what we can to
Right.
move it along.
and this will, you know, by doing some of this, it will help us come up with that 5 to 10
Right,
year plan,
right.
5 to 20 year plan, whatever. Okay, so, expected cost, benefit, difficulty, those columns will just hide. I mean, there's two things here. One is, you know, if Joe wants to send this out, you know, electronically, or even make copies, I mean, this is like a 12-page spreadsheet because it goes out so far and it's so long. And I'm trying to think about, you know, making something that's workable, but being able to send out an abbreviated version for discussion,
right.
okay? So, I mean, work with me here, Joe. I'm trying to think, I need you to think about what's gonna work as far as trying to, I mean, the spreadsheet that you had was good for short, you know, being able to communicate what we're doing and that type of thing, but, go ahead.
So just a question for
Sure.
you, Gail. I think so Bitsy, like I understand where you're coming from.
short list. It's just that they should be
A limited amount of information.
prioritized.
Yeah.
If it's 1 through 100, okay, mighty fine, but you're probably not gonna get to 100. And/or if you get to 100 because it only costs $2,000, ask yourself, would I have been better off putting that $2,000 in the bank? That's kind of what I'm saying, is that if we do a lot of relatively inexpensive, low-hanging fruit, even though it's relatively inexpensive, it still costs money, and that money, if you'd added it up, over 3 years, might have been half of what it would cost to do something that is really necessary
But I think
or important.
if we do it the right way, the formula, those cheap projects will weed themselves out. They're like, yeah, this is cheap, but the benefit's really not there, so it gets put down below. So there might be one that's cheap and it's really good benefit, yeah, so you do it. But the idea is, yeah, those cheap projects that are not that big of a benefit,
Yeah.
we don't do. You know, 'cause it-
Yeah, but you know, it's been my experience, you look at that low-hanging fruit, which is
Most of
what
which-
we identified
Yeah, most of which has been done.
in the works for the comprehensive plan,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, that's where all of these flowers came out of, you know, the treescapes and that sort of stuff.
Meadow
Which
garden,
was
the
a nominal cost, and the benefit is that we got the community involved.
Yeah,
We now have 3 lots on Baldwin Street
Yep.
that are somewhat, you know, enjoyable to look at.
Yep.
And so I think those low-hanging fruits are important to a community like that. I mean, I'm not saying that we ignore everything that we need to do as a planning committee, because our job is to visualize what we want and how to get there for the next 15, 20 years.
yes.
All right?
You're
Some
not-
of these projects are gonna be 15, 20-year
You're not gonna get the
projects.
community to come out and roll up their sleeves and help do the north end. You know, come on, we're having a bridge building, everybody come down.
Right.
You know, it's,
So, okay, so Melissa, you'll leave those in there, but we'll just hide them for the time being.
Yeah.
And then as we get information, we can add that in, but,
Yeah, and I think some of these other columns, Gail, are there, like, more for at the end, like, to help you do the annual report, like, you'll be able to filter to see what did we complete last year, you know, that kind of stuff. So those ones you probably don't need to look, those ones probably could be.
And Joe knows how to hide those columns, so we just have.
What's the colors mean?
So they're color coded just on the project status,
Yeah, like what's blue?
it just means in progress.
Okay.
I mean, there's no, I think I needed pretty colors
what's
that
the
day.
mauve?
The mauve
We
is
didn't do
new ones. Yeah, so if you, like, I just highlighted, anything that's in progress is highlighted in the blue. That delayed one is highlighted in yellow. Green is complete, and then new ones were pink, because I needed pink that day. I think you're totally changeable to whatever colors you prefer.
Oh, those colors.
okay, continuing on here, assigned to, was a column that was in one of them, and, you know, it's either us or the council or Public Works or whomever. Project status, you know, is in progress or completed or not yet started. I'm not sure. Have we got any that aren't started?
Well, I think we called them new, but we could change
Okay.
them to not started.
Well, well,
Whatever makes more sense.
I think not started.
Not started.
not started, okay.
Because they can stay new for a long
Right.
time. Yeah, like
And
not
then,
started.
and then not be new anymore?
Project timing, is this something that's important?
Well, Dale, you were wanting to build out a 2, 3,
It says
5-year,
target time.
10-year
Okay,
plan.
so is that,
So we could rename that column if that helps you to get where you were.
I think it makes sense. It should be that.
5 year, the,
yeah,
1 year,
long-term
5.
plan,
Yeah.
I mean, short, long-term
Okay,
plan.
What should it be called?
Short, long-term, short/long-term plan, or?
Yeah, instead of like 30, 60, 90 being, you know.
Yeah, whatever the next thing on the agenda was that Dale's,
5-year plan.
yeah, whatever year or
Yeah.
schedule we come up with. I think it'd be nice to correlate to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that way then we can just pull that out and print just that, yeah.
Okay.
I hate that question. I can't tell. I want your job.
Total cost,
Yeah, they need updating, because like, it was like, once it went on there, it like, it died.
okay. Is it worth having the cost estimate?
I think it's important,
Okay,
if we have a number.
okay,
A lot of times we don't have numbers, you know.
right, right.
Joe, do you like it broken out this way with the grant versus the borough cost?
That's how like when I got hired, council set it up before me, so I kind of feel like it works.
I sort of like that, because you know what, if a resident gets their hands on this, or they question us, well, how much money is the borough, I mean, how much are we tax dollars spending?
Yeah, because look at that first project in the yellow.
Right.
The yellow one's the perfect one, if you could go up, Melissa.
I feel like I'm on like a tape delay here.
Like if we went up to the Chartier Street project, we'd be like, how much does that new sidewalk
Can you put
cost?
the mouse up?
Yeah.
I'm trying,
Oh.
but it's just not
Hold it up.
like this.
I think you're too far away.
There you go.
That might be too
Yeah,
far.
see like
Okay,
the borough
yeah.
share.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
total cost,
Yeah.
grant funding.
Yeah,
Or
see what I'm
okay.
saying? So, it's important to know that. Otherwise, people would say, why the hell did you spend $250,000 on that sidewalk? But you say, it only cost us 30 grand.
Right.
It was like, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But if you
I
spend,
mean, like this crosswalk here, people were,
yeah,
was
it's,
gonna be underground tunnels.
yeah, they didn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, and again, those could probably be hidden if you need to.
Sure, but I think it's important to know.
Yeah. And then, you know, the last column is,
So we're gonna remove the complete date column to make it a little bit smaller, and then we'll put the notes and updates. We could keep whatever we discuss at our meetings, you know, like we can keep some notes in here so we all know what's going on, and then we can put the date we can keep this project in there.
yeah.
okay.
So I have a question about this. So, do you ever drop off the oldest?
I do, once they're completed, so like, council-wise,
Yeah.
take that project update log, because my manager's report,
Right.
at the end of the year, I'll just drop
Okay.
them. I hide them, actually.
Okay.
So,
all right.
so you've got the,
All right, but so in other words, but let's just say this project, you have some, the last one was 9/6/24.
that was an update. That was
Okay.
update, yeah.
All right, so when this project progresses,
Mhm.
will you get rid of?
I usually end up deleting it, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because like some projects, like, you'll see like the flood project.
Right.
It's like
Yeah,
this,
right.
and then it's like really, it's like old news, it needs to,
Correct. I mean, do you keep that info? I mean, do you
I usually do, I just
just
delete it.
delete it? Okay.
Because what Melissa did was drop all the completed ones at the very bottom of the
Right.
list, just so we could see them if we want them. And we could hide those, we can,
You know,
I like having them down there just so that we know
Right.
we can show what's being done. Sure. Okay, does anybody have any other comments regarding columns? Okay,
it's nice to have one, yeah.
okay, so I'll put together a list of projects, email it out, and, you know, we'll kind of ask you to rate them based on, you know, I'll provide a scale, like, you know, kind of like what we did for Tim's thing.
Yeah.
you know, dollar signs or
Right.
Yeah.
length of time. Okay, any other comments? Anything to add, anything what I miss?
I don't know, I think it was very comprehensive.
Yeah.
No, and it would be nice that once we, even maybe before we start rating them, maybe it would be smart that we sit down and I go project by project by project with you guys to say, this is where we are, because sometimes the spreadsheet really doesn't reflect, like,
Right.
because some things change daily, you know, and I can go,
Yeah, I
every
think,
one of these projects I can give you like an update on. I think it would be
Yeah.
beneficial.
Okay.
Are these dropped down, you have something underneath these?
no, there's just, you can,
You can type something in?
like, I don't. Yeah, that's a me getting, I'm not gonna get that.
I'm not gonna be
But,
fussy.
I mean, you can filter on them, so like, if you
Okay.
wanted to only see the choose the not started, and then look at that group.
And we're gonna get a copy of this, besides a hard copy, we're gonna get an email with this.
You sent it
Yeah,
out?
you got it, you got
Got
it
it?
right now. It went with the meeting packet, today.
Oh,
It was on there.
You know,
What was I today?
Okay. All right, thank you, Melissa.
I was busy looking at what Nordstrom's was having on sale.
Where are our gifts then?
And they're on the way.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we got through the project spreadsheet review. 5 to 10 year planning, I'm just gonna put that, I'm gonna table that for now. I'll put together a list of projects and a list of, what's the word? Criteria for rating them, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I really would like to go one by one with everyone. I think it'd be worthwhile.
Okay, so you wanna do that before we rate them?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
No, and that's fine.
Because some things are more far along than others. And
Do we wanna do that tonight?
yeah, let's do it. We can do it.
I mean,
You want-
we got a couple other things on here.
Yeah, I'll just read it.
Okay,
We'll do it.
all right.
So Joe, I am gonna open it on my desk.
Yeah, and then I'll just go down, if you don't mind, maybe just
Make some notes.
I
take
can-
some
yeah.
notes and we'll go from there. Because there won't be a lot, maybe something.
Okay.
I'm gonna work from my copy though, because it'll be faster, I think, for trying to do that.
Do you wanna go?
Do you want to do it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just read them off. And then I'm gonna take this as my notepad or my pocket. All right, so first thing was the Chartier Street sidewalk project. The borough, it maybe even says it, but the borough entered into a contract with PennDOT for that, so we are committed.
Okay.
Our match for that project is $31,000. PennDOT they're still in design for the slope repair. They're still didn't get far with the necessary right-of-way acquisitions, because there's like slivers, like a foot, some people showers and stuff.
Is that gonna be done when they do the whole road?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, so they're telling us probably 2027.
excellent.
But there is a lot of prep being done, so like this year, you'll see, they did the water lines on, was it your Chestnut Street last year? No, your street. And that was to get utilities moved in preparation. This year, People's Gas is moving them in Spruce behind you, out an alley behind you.
Okay.
So all the utilities are moving. There has been some utility coordination meetings, but they're still in design, but it looks like a
So
2027.
how much on the going up Chartiers for the whole road, how much property roughly taken?
Like, for example, we'll do a BJ's house. I know it's like a foot. That's kind of the norm that you're seeing. All right, the next thing was the Barn Hill Road, Baldwin Street access. I think this one kind of should be,
So there's those two, Joe.
it's two, and I think it's just because it showed up twice, but it's actually one and the same.
So like that pedestrian improvement and the traffic calm maybe should be combined?
I think so,
Okay,
because the project did morph into that.
yeah. that's
So we applied for, we bounced the design off you guys last year to do an improvement of a mid-block crossing with Gary Delight. The grant, so here's some context. The grant source had a minimum application fee of $100,000. So you needed a project for $100,000 or more to apply. So if we went to them with a $25,000 project, it was ineligible. So you needed to build a $100,000 project. But the more you got involved to make this to standards, it required a lot of sidewalk reconstruction in front of Gary Delight. Gary Delight has a massive curb cut. It's essentially, they don't have to have a driveway curb cut and then ADA ramps. So then it required sidewalk reconstruction that really boosted up that price. We received a $92,000 multimodal grant last month. Justine and I signed the grant contract today. So once we get that contract back from the state, we can start having John finalize design. he started the application with PennDOT to get the traffic signal permit, even though it's just a button, it's actually a pedestrian, a signal, so we had to apply for a signal permit, and he started that. We have to acquire a little bit of right-of-way easements on the Tambellini side off the railroad and Tambellini for the ADA ramp, so it isn't just a crosswalk to nowhere.
Tambellini, do you mean the Indian restaurant?
Yeah, Old Bridgeville, the Tambellini lot, you know.
Well, no, well,
Tambellini still owns it.
Yeah, Tamborelli still owns that lot,
Yeah,
not the
he
Indian
does,
restaurant.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Tamborelli still owns
I
it.
didn't even know there was a Tambellini's, I thought it was
Yeah.
dead.
So anyways, we're actually moving ahead. We got the money for that, and I think we'll be on track to have that done by the fall.
Will they do it while the dairy light's open, or?
I don't know yet. We need to coordinate some things. Like I'll know more once I have the easements in place. That would be my hurdle to secure, so I have to get easement from the railroad. So I don't know what that includes, but I knew it was gonna be expensive, so I put that in the budget for the grant. Because I know a minimum for them to look at an engineering drawing is $4,000 and they have to pay that. So I put that into the grant. So that's why that project got expensive, but these will all be costs that we would have to pay anyway, so it's nice to get a grant to do it.
So the grant's gonna cover a majority of,
Yeah, it's 80%. So it worked out well. So our match for that is $30 million.
good job, Joe.
It worked out well. All right, the next thing is that Chartiers Park Trail. This one here, maybe put it back. It's like in progress, but like I've done multiple grant applications and I've had no success with this one.
The trail is where,
In the park, the story walk, essentially repaving it and making it a complete circle. So we have plans to do it. It's just one of, we need to find a better creative project to make it work.
Should we mark it delayed or?
I would say delayed,
Okay.
because it's not in progress. It's kind of like put on the shelf for a while.
Yep. Okay.
Coolidge, McLaughlin Run, sidewalk, there's nothing, so nothing's been done with that.
Yeah, but that's part of,
Oh, yes, it actually has been, because part of, you guys came up with that, for the
Yeah.
conditional use permit for Mosbach,
Yeah.
it was a requirement to put that line painting in. And Mosbach was delayed on submitting their building permit application. They submitted their building permit application for the interior renovations last week in January. And when I approved the bird building permit to go for review, the zoning was, it does have a conditional use permit, but before occupancy is granted, they have to line paint out that line.
oh, okay.
So it's on the radar, so a good catch.
Did I have the right, like,
You could just put in development with Mosbach occupancy. And I would say they probably have their permits if there's no issues with their plans, maybe within the next 2 weeks. Liberty Street, we talked about that. I went up there with the Public Works crew. Once the weather breaks, we're gonna do a little bit of house cleaning, some TLC. And there was some storm sewer work we have to do up on Liberty Street that washed away the edge of the road. So once the weather breaks, it's on the road crew's honey-do list. I know we were saying though, as a planning commission, we need to figure out what are we gonna do beyond making it nicer than what it is, because like it just dead ends on our road. And we said we need to come back and look at that. So that's another one to come back to you. Route 50 corridor, address lack of ADA accessibility for Bridgeville into Collier towards the shopping centers. That there is slowly being addressed with redevelopment in Collier. You could see as part of their Salvin or land development ordinance, they require sidewalks to be put in for each development. But we have in our plans for the Route 50, the 2 projects is to make sure that it's a pedestrian connectivity between the borough and the shopping centers. So we're getting there. Bank Street bump out planting plan, that's Melissa and crew.
Melissa and crew.
Creation of a park on the west side of the borough. I met, the engineer and I went up there 2 weeks ago to look at the Parrot Street lot, and this is an agenda item, so maybe we can just morph it in.
Yep.
The lot is in Collier, but it's in Bridgeville. You know what I mean? It's like Chartiers Park. You think you're in Bridgeville, but it's actually in Upper St. Clair. Be the same exact concept, where it's right at the municipal border. It was like a 5-acre abandoned piece of property that's mostly the hillside that separates Bridgeville residential area from 79 and the Wooded area. And there is some areas to the property that it isn't like a nice, beautiful flat lot, but you could see potential. And he even agreed that it would be a nice place for a couple years that we can grade in-house. You know, we're always get rid of fill and grade it. That
Is it at the end of Parrot?
end of Paradise, if you went like where Kenny Ersitz
Yeah.
lives, right behind Kenny's house. And it would line up with the intersection, so essentially it's in the middle of the neighborhood and it's not exactly behind someone's house, it would be right in the middle of the road.
There's
So it
5
would be-
acres there.
But it's long, it goes the entire length of the borough,
Oh, I got it.
yeah,
The entire length of Bridgeville or Collier?
Bridgeville,
Okay.
in Collier. And it's like a legacy, it goes back, it's still owned by Mayor and Mikey Yard, Mayor Brick.
Okay, I'm confused. Where is it? It's in Bridgeville?
Well,
Or
this
is
is a
it?
problem. So if you look at this map, this is it's unique.
Thank God we have these maps.
Yeah,
So,
and it's been updated. This is an updated map.
so Presley Road comes up Parrot Street.
Okay.
You go straight towards the back, it's this, and it runs the whole hill.
Okay.
So it'd be essentially here where my finger is. And if it's something small, like a tot lot and a couple benches, it would really just take up maybe this
Yeah.
150-foot area,
Okay.
and that's it.
Where's the nursery, where you are?
Down here. So it's in line with Parrot Street, so like, it's in the center of this neighborhood. You know how we were saying like an upper one and a lower one?
Yeah.
This is the upper one we looked at.
Are there kids up there?
It is long, I know it too.
Two that he knows. Know of.
Or,
But maybe, it would require,
it would require,
But back when I walked like 2 hours every day, and I went up there and I went by your house, and that was your house.
yeah.
This house is so nicely
I
maintained.
think you should
It's
use
so
it.
awesome. Everything
Yeah.
that we do, you know, I just had no idea. Just thought it was really, really, and then I found out that was your house. I was like, okay, I get it.
okay, so,
So it would require, for like us to build it, we would have to acquire it through the vacant property recovery program. So there's some cost from the borough to acquire this property. And then we would have to coordinate through Collier with the development of it. And then take some time to build it. But I think it would be one of those, 8-year projects. Because it's gonna take time to acquire it, and it's gonna take time to do grading, it's gonna take time to get a grant to build it.
so all the kids that are up there will be all grown up.
Teenagers.
They'll be smoking cigarettes.
Absolutely.
Oh, it would be like a new lynch pond for them then.
But I feel like it is doable, and John agreed that it's a doable site, that when you go up there, you can see like a natural shelf in the topography where it won't require you to clear the whole hillside, where you will still leave a large tree buffer, because I said to John, is it gonna require us to remove this, because we look like fools having a playground next to 79.
Right.
No, there'll still be a large tree buffer.
Is there area for like using the topography for like?
Yeah, your jungle, like I said,
Jungle gym?
maybe, yeah. Because it's not that weird. You don't want to go down too far, because then you're gonna get close to 79. So there was that. So maybe what we need to do is, when it comes up on the agenda, maybe it's just make a recommendation to council, and then we send a letter over, and then let them think about it, and then John's been there, and then if they agree to it, I can bounce the idea on Collier to see, would you have an opposition if I did this? Because if I went and with the borough acquired it, and then we knew they were gonna fight us and say, no, you can't do that, it'd be a waste of money to
Yeah,
acquire
right.
it. But I don't even think they realize it's Collier Township.
So it is actually, the property is actually in Collier?
Yes, the road's in Bridgeville, so I'm just saying, like, if this is the road, I'm Collier. It's like,
Okay,
it's like, it's weird.
yeah,
It's just like Chartiers Park.
yeah, but it's not like Collier's gonna be able to access that property
No, unless they go,
through Bridgeville.
yeah.
Okay.
It don't make sense.
All right,
And their people would actually benefit from it, from like the Jones Drive residents. And because you hate to say this, that street's de facto Bridgeville, even though they pay taxes to Collier. Yeah.
okay.
So I have a question about, so since Chartiers is in Upper St. Clair,
Uh-huh.
whose ordinances does the Chartiers Park follow?
We've always just done our own.
Okay.
I've never gone to them for anything.
Okay, all right, so that would be the same thing with Collier, or would that have to be?
I would, maybe at most, land development approval. And
Okay,
that's being very strict.
yeah,
And I would think that this would be something that would take, 5 to 8 years, that it would just happen kind of deal.
Okay,
All right. Dark sky lighting, that's on the agenda. And I know we got information from West Penn. West Penn can't do it. The borough lights are your borough lights, this is the best you're gonna get. Borough lights on our like our street lights, there is a very affordable option. And I think we got a quote from our manufacturer, it's like under like 65,000. So I didn't think that was bad at all.
and you saw that message from
In Marauda, yes, there's a Main Street.
Main Street.
And that's where I'm kind of at, I want to reach out to them this week.
Yeah.
Because it could also fund public art and sculptures. And I
Okay.
know there's been a desire from Public Art Bridgeville to actually buy a sculpture
Yeah.
that would commemorate Bridgeville 125,
Right.
America 250, and we don't have to send it back in a year. So I was thinking it would be a good opportunity to
Yeah.
apply for that grant for the sculpture. But I also thought this would be a decent way to do those lights.
Yeah,
But then I wanted to talk to them because that would be us buying those lights.
Yeah.
Now, when we go through that grant program, the county grants are very strict. They would probably require us to bid that and have an electrician do it, not versus us having
Okay.
our people do it. So I have some questions I have for the county, because I'm thinking the same way as you, that I really could see that, being very candid, at first, I wasn't seeing the benefit of it. But after seeing those dark sky lights,
right,
you can see it would really change the atmosphere. Not like atmosphere, but just like the feel.
the ambiance.
Yes, well said.
Where is there's a permanent sculpture gonna be placed?
We don't know yet. It's hypothetical,
Where, hypothetically?
on the bridge. But I don't
On the
know.
bridge.
Please don't get way too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when they do the lights, do we want to wait and talk about it later on? Are they just the top of the lights that are switched
Yeah,
out?
we call them the globes, so
The
that whole
globes.
globe could come off.
Perfect.
Yep, and then the pole, it would
Stays.
fit our pole, yep, so that'd be nice.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
it would be awesome.
Yeah, and see, when I saw that, because the state of Pennsylvania had money for Main Street, and I'm guessing that they filtered it down into the counties.
Uh-huh.
And so when I got that in the email, I was really excited because we already have the plans.
Yeah,
We already know how much it's gonna cost.
Yeah.
Let's just
yeah,
do it.
that's the cost from the supplier,
Right.
so. But, we can come back to it, so there's an option. And then also with those dark skylights, once you test it out and you see, oh, this is actually a good thing. That could be like an amendment to our saldo or something that any new development lines have to be that type of
Right.
fixture. North End Avenue, it's on the agenda as well. You probably saw it at last month's council meeting. Both towns agreed with moving forward with TPD. That's the traffic engineering firm that did the active transportation plan. And I had an email today with the district executive here at PennDOT, and I wanted to share this with you, because it's important at the times of what we're saying here. And he was happy to be kept in the loop, and we're moving forward with something. And here I'll quote him: "Hopefully you're considering perhaps a pre-phase to any planned project for replacement of the railroad bridge," that's the trestle. "Without removal of this constraint, we, PennDOT, don't see a lot of improvement without widening the project constructed first. To split it into two projects would help from a funding aspect. Our 2027 TIP, Transportation Improvement Plan," this is where it gets scary, "is $700 million over programmed, and we had cash flow projects currently in design out to 2031 in order to deliver. As of now, there isn't room for additional projects." So we're not even looking for current, we want to get at a concept that we could be at the 2032 mark, and that's really not that far out.
No.
That's a 10-year project. And, but what PennDOT's saying is that if you don't shoot for the moon and do the railroad trestle, don't come talk to us, it's really what he's saying.
Yeah, that's the linchpin.
Yeah, because all you're gonna do is move the bottleneck.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So it's nice as we have a traffic engineer, both towns are agreeing and excited about it. It was in the paper last week, so it's getting the people understanding that it's on the radar. And PennDOT District Executive is in the loop, and he gave us his feedback today.
So that's, that the whole entire thing is one project, and then moving up to Bower Hill and Washington Avenue, is that roundabout included?
No,
Okay.
it's kind of the same thing.
Right.
So the limits for this project, we say North End is here, Bartle Road, to Mayor Street, up at, fortunately, there was several concepts of maybe put a roundabout here and do the railroad trestle and do it all. So it's all part of one concept. But talking to Mike Mudry, he doesn't think that is a good option here. But he said, well, I'll flush it through and before
He doesn't think the roundabout's a good option.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I thought that the PennDOT said that.
They just proposed it.
Okay,
Yeah, but Mike Mudry's looking at it. So
okay.
before, if you remember, in your packet was their proposal.
Yeah.
And they'll study 5 alternatives before they put a plan together for
Okay.
one. And one of them did include a roundabout up here, but he wanted to make sure that of the 5, which one is the most efficient and kind of like we just did here.
Right.
So really no update. Mike Mudry just got started, this month, and you heard the update from PennDOT. So it's actually a pretty good position. All right, Chartiers Creek Greenway. This is a multi-use trail from Newberry and South Fayette through Bridgeville. This is in our active transportation plan, and it's also a recommendation we made to South Fayette, and South Fayette picked up and put it in their plan. And Mike had a good thing, maybe bring it up this year and talk to them about it. So there's been no action. Hickman and Chess, there's been no action made there. However, we did get, and we designed ADA crosswalk improvements for that intersection, getting CDBG grants. So if bids come in low, we'll be able to improve those handicap crossings there. They'll have new crosswalks that'd be the thermoplastic piano keys, but without bump outs. So just so you know. But I thought of there that if there was a desire to further bump outs, we could do a Pittsburgh bump out, and it's a borough street where we could just, tack on some delineator posts into the asphalt, like you see the city do. That would have the same effect. I honestly feel that intersection, there is visibility issues there, because that street is very busy, because that's the cut through. That it would serve a benefit. But the design of ADA ramps is rather expensive. So we already have a design, we have money, potentially bids are low to do Yeah, but that doesn't prevent us from doing, we'll call it the Pittsburgh.
Can that, the Pittsburgh thing be done afterwards?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, we've got the funds or whatever, we
Yeah.
get the grant, we
Uh-huh.
could do that and
Yeah.
then add that stuff in afterwards.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a good after transportation plan to talk about, because I think that was recommended in a couple places, yeah. All right, Lesnet Road sidewalk, I don't have any update. Presley Road, I don't have any update. I know it's a priority, or not a priority, it's a significant concern, but options of what can be done are really outside of our wheelhouse.
Yeah, without getting property acquisition and stuff.
Yeah, and you know what's fascinating is when I had the engineer with me with Parrott Street, I asked him about Presley Road because the timing was the same. He goes, the road is wide enough for the parked car and 2 travel lanes. It's just, are we comfortable with it? Because when you go up, you know, you feel like you're tight,
Yeah.
but you're actually, it meets minimum standards for lane width. He goes, do I like it? No, but is it wrong? No, he says, it's still, you can get your, you know, so 10-foot wide, 10-foot wide travel lanes. It's perception, you know? And it is, because you go from a wide road to bog. It's kind of a defective traffic calming device, you know?
Yeah.
It is a problem. It stinks. There's no sidewalks up there, so if you are walking, there's nowhere for you. But the parking, the homes are all split lots. There's nowhere for them to go. It'd almost be more economical to buy the homes out, to be
Hey,
honest.
when those people built those homes, they walked to 2 places, St. Barbara's
Yeah.
and the local grocery store, and that was it. So there probably weren't any cars.
No, you're spot on.
Yeah.
And that's one of the costs of sprawl around us. is
Yeah.
what that
The
is.
school buses go down Presley.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asphalt trucks, everything does. That's when you feel. But you know what's funny is like, I know I'm even a victim of this. If you cognitively watch your speedometer to 25 miles an hour, it's not a problem. But like if because you got that wide road, you're barreling up there at 30 some miles an hour, that's when you feel like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah.
But if you like go down to 25 miles an hour, it does make a difference. I would encourage you to just play with that as a mother. All right.
You're checking the news.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ridge Road access or Cook School Park out that sidewalk, there's been no action on that. Station Street at Chess, that was another, we'll call it Pittsburgh bump outs, no action. And that was another intersection we got money for 88 ramps.
Okay.
Washington Avenue Gateway, there was no action. We applied for a congressional appropriation and it wasn't selected. But then we came back and said, you know what, if we're talking about streetscaping the north end of or the south end of Washington Avenue, that would be the time to consider that project.
Is that the island?
Yes.
Okay. And can we require anything of CVS if they move when they move in there?
No.
Is CVS going in there?
I got building permit today. So
CVS going into where Rite Aid was?
Right.
No?
No, if they were gonna be building that from scratch and they had to go here for land development or come in for conditional use, yes, but right now, no.
Okay.
But that doesn't say that like when they open and they're, you know, they come
I'm
up here
just
for river
thinking,
cutting
yeah.
and we ask like, hey, can we partner with you to plant trees?
Right,
Like, I think we can make a friend.
yeah.
Soccer field reuse, we haven't done anything with that. Earth Day cleanup, I know Melissa had that for the agenda for tonight. We wanna come back or we wanna go?
Well, I have to Google, when is our thing?
Then I'll come back.
Yeah, we can go back.
The next thing is EV charging. This was a recommendation of the board. What was that, like back in December? And we presented that to the parking authority. The parking authority board is looking at incorporating that and was talking to various vendors, but they were interested in doing something. And there is talk, and we may council meeting agenda about possibly repaving lot 2, that's the main lot. And then if bids come in decent, they were saying maybe that's the time to do these chargers, because you gotta dig it up. So, there was interest on their part. The next thing is the library bridge, there's been nothing. Bank Street, Listener Roundabout, I wouldn't say it's on hold. This project, we have a design that's completed. PennDOT liked the design, we'll call it the Hail Mary, doing the full roundabout. And they had our retained traffic engineer do a finalized cost estimate for it, and it's like over $2 million. And they made application to the SPC to fund it. So we're waiting to hear if it gets funded or not. And they would know late spring, they're saying.
That doesn't seem like a lot of money for a project like, I mean,
Yeah.
for a major project.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at it as a major
I do
project.
too.
But
And I think that number could be skewed because what's the value of the property that would be acquired.
yeah.
So I don't know, but at least PennDOT was on board, and PennDOT took our design and applied for SPC funding themselves for that. And that's kind of the model I'm trying to hope to develop with the North End. It's the same players,
Yeah.
so I want to reciprocate that.
Sure.
Is that what they did for the McLaughlin roundabout, do you know?
No, that was different. All right, rental property registration, there's been no update on that.
Is on hold a good status for that? Or,
How you define on hold? You
Yeah,
know, there's a new board, the new board even know that it's on hold. I think that's the way to do that. Next thing is Bank Street pedestrian, oh, these are all done.
The green ones
Yeah,
are all
they are.
so all completed.
woo-hoo. Wow, Joe, that was a really good run through.
Yeah, so I'm saying like, it kind of will help you know make your decision. So we actually, there's a lot going on. There's only a handful that really there's nothing going on with. It's just now,
All right, so I.
some things just need a more of a push, and like, it's gonna take, it's the money,
I'll
Oh,
make
where's
them,
the bocce ball court? Is the bocce ball court in there?
I'll make
No,
them
no,
their
no, no.
edits, and then.
Curling, that's a new thing.
Next to the Owls Club.
There you go.
We can use the creek water to freeze the world.
Isn't that an ice thing?
Yeah. We just finished the Olympics, that's like.
Well, yeah, but so what you're being humorous, I'm sure of that, not.
When you
not-
say bocce, it's like, bocce, curling, like ice bocce.
I mean, people are curling in their kitchens right now with their roommates.
I
I
know.
saw that.
You know,
Okay. Comprehensive plan, we talked about that. Active transportation, we talked about that stuff. Earth Day.
5, did you want to make a motion to recommend
Yes.
on
Yes.
So then.
So we'll make a motion to,
Recommend to Borough Council that a playground be constructed in the area of the terminus of Current Street. And then something to figure it out.
okay,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
so,
I'll make that motion.
second,
Okay.
okay? Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, Earth Day.
okay, so Earth Day is on the 22nd, which is a Wednesday.
22nd?
April 22nd, which is a Wednesday. So we could look at doing the cleanup either the Saturday before or the Saturday after, 18th or 25th.
I have a question. Are we doing our typical Earth Day, or are we going to talk about the library?
Yeah, we should talk about the library. Crap, I haven't read that email for, I've forgotten.
Okay.
Is it to clean up the woods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do it as part of that. I mean,
Yeah, but that's a
Wait a
big
minute, how did
project.
we get from Earth Day to the
I
library?
mean, what are they?
Well,
They just pick up trash.
One of the,
No,
one of the clerks in the library had proposed that we work
What are they gonna do with that space? I mean, I know like years ago, they were talking about like putting like an outdoor, little like amphitheater out there.
No, I think from what I remember the email, because Aaron had emailed it to me last year.
Is this the one where they came and said they thought the borough owned it?
Correct.
They wanted us
Right.
to take out all the
Right.
native trees?
Yeah.
I said, I'm sorry, that's your problem.
Right. And what it is, it's just a bunch of dead trees and,
Right.
and, you know,
Some
the
invasive
grapevine
crap
leaves,
Right.
the brush. And they just thought it would look nicer if some of that stuff would be, you know,
Not there.
correct.
So if a group of people went down there and pulled that stuff up and created a pile, and could we get the chipper or whatever?
We could do that.
I would think, you know, maybe that's a separate project from Earth Day.
Yeah.
So let's stick with the Earth Day thing and,
Okay.
uh,
I mean, we probably need to. We've had a hard winter. I'm sure there's gonna be trash everywhere. So, probably a good idea to do a normal cleaning and then, okay. So do you care about the before or after? Does
either.
anybody have a preference?
I'm still lost. On Earth Day, we are doing what?
So we're gonna do regular
Earth Day
cleanup.
week.
Not on Earth
Earth
Day.
Day weeks.
Yeah.
Not, oh, this is not the library, this is whatever
Correct.
places we.
Kind of like what we've done the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Pick a
I know,
spot,
I
pick
just
a
thought
track.
that, I thought the library was getting stuck in that, I think, wait a minute, I lost
We
complete track.
will,
Thought I
we
knew
will
what
look
that
at
was.
creating a different date and then maybe just do a reach out to the community and say, hey,
Yeah.
we'll put a plan together of, like, meet with the library, figure out a plan of what we need to do, and then we can solicit volunteers to come and do stuff.
The 18th, the library is having a sculpture show, but that's in the evening, April 18th. And the next weekend, I won't be here.
How convenient. Where are you going?
April 18th it is. You might as well get dirty before
As
you.
long as I don't
Go to
get
Italy.
poison ivy, I'll be okay.
You
Okay.
don't have international calling on your phone, do you?
I do.
Oh, it's too bad.
Okay, so cleanup day would be Saturday, the 18th of April.
When are we gonna have, when are we posting? Can we post 18th of April?
What?
So we can reuse the prior social media and.
And I'll get the cleanup supplies from Pam. I think you start at what, like 10?
Yeah.
Nine.
9. So, and then it meets here.
Yep.
Start.
Are you out of town?
Not yet, but it will be.
I'm quite that far ahead. I
Okay.
should be here.
Electric vehicle charging stations, dark sky stuff, we'll talk a little bit more about.
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
Yeah. So,
I think the best thing was that the West Penn, we know that there's nothing, and then the West Penn guy, he even said his email because, like, Bridgeville's in a valley, you know, and he says, you have all the, like, Agawam Business Park, he goes.
Yeah.
He says, it is a worthwhile cause, but are you really gonna make a big difference?
Right.
But I think Washington Avenue would make a big difference.
Right.
yeah, well, I'm not there's no way we'll ever get compliance,
Yeah.
you know, strict 100%. But it's one of those things that I think a little bit can make a big difference.
Yeah, and he even said that, John, he agreed.
And, you know, I think West Penn will be at the Alum at the Seven Springs meeting. Usually they are, so,
It was wrong getting it, we know where it is, it's just,
yeah.
we wanted to do the borough lights, so, yeah. If they wanted to give us a grant to do the borough lights, that'd be kind of nice.
Well, you never know.
You never know, because it is rather affordable.
Right, right.
Like, we'll put it on a scale for a price of a police car and get those lights done, you know? It's like, that's not too bad.
Okay, anything else?
So do you want me to leave it on the agenda, or?
Yeah, leave it on the agenda, please. McLaughlin Run flood issues, are you making any progress, heard anything?
Yes and no. So there was two parallel things to try to get our money back.
Mhm.
So the path of least resistance was federal was going to give us appropriation to get us the same money back. And then at the same time, the governor filed a lawsuit, piggytailing other governors, saying what FEMA did was wrong. And in the past, like since Christmas time, the federal government changed the law that said that if you were a brick project, you're not eligible for appropriations. So it killed our appropriation thing on some new rule change. But the federal lawsuit that the governor jumped on out of the state of Washington won. And the state, the federal court ruled that directed FEMA to I don't know if reestablish is the right word, but, you know, put back the brick program.
Okay.
That would give us our money back and put us all together. So, right early in the year, I said, do you have any update? He goes, no, I don't have any update. We're waiting to hear to see if FEMA appeals or not. And then over the past couple weeks, there's been no word at all. So about a week ago, the FEMA administrator told me that the state filed another court motion to direct them to implement the court order. So we're waiting on the courts, basically the federal FEMA, to listen to the court.
Okay.
So, but it was a court win, which is now getting the pieces to fall. So that's where we're at. And then twofold was, and then subsequently, we were saying, if you remember, we were saying that flood project was phase one. So let's phase the phase, you know? So then we were focusing on the culvert, because that's kind of the source of a lot of rain in the double barrel. So back around Christmas time, we got a decent state grant for about $300,000. And then I had the $1 million state grant from a couple years ago. The culvert's estimated about $2 million. So there was $1.3 million. Last year, year before, I applied for a FEMA grant, another FEMA grant,
Okay.
through FEMA. It's really get confusing. For the culvert, and that grant is now being approved. So we've been for the past year doing the regulatory reviews, environmental reviews, and since our last council meeting, they have said that we're done with reviews, they're done with the review process, now we're gonna get the contract. So that is the $700,000. So it seems to be that we have all the money in place, provided that they don't take it back again, to do the culvert. Potentially maybe later this year we can start it.
Wow.
So at least that is a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, that's huge.
That was huge. So, and that was nice to get that second FEMA grant, $712,000. And then we put a little bit of money aside, we call it a flood budgetary reserve fund, so if it's over under, we've got our money to put it on it. And we extended, Justine and I, the big $1 million grant was set to expire this summer. We got another year to use it up by the end of June next year. So I'm hoping to have that spent by then, if, you know, everything keeps going as it does.
Joe, your best guess, with all the craziness and dysfunction of the federal government, do you think that the grant is in a position where it's not gonna get pulled back?
I would think so. The little one, the big one, I don't know. But if you had two courts say yes, I would say no, but we're not really rational.
That's not a
You go to
totally
the Supreme
rational.
Court, not the Supreme Court.
But they didn't appeal yet. That would be the next step.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so.
Okay.
What's going on with the Bar Hill Bridge?
Oh, that's in design.
Okay,
The county retained a bridge engineer that is doing the design work. We met with them last summer, John and I,
Yeah.
our engineer John, and so that the flood project is kind of works with their project.
yeah,
And they were looking at if they could do anything, try to take the dog leg out of our hill a little bit.
yeah.
But we weren't gonna get like overpasses of Baldwin Street or anything like that, but if we could get that,
Right.
Tweaked a little bit to make
they
the,
were open to that.
Okay.
But that's, it sounds like it's a 2030 project. So.
okay,
2030.
And there's a lot of bridge projects because I think that's 2030. Penlet's replacing the McLaughlin Run Bridge at the park and potentially next year, 2027. So you have 2027, that bridge, 2027, Chartier Street and the sidewalk, 2030, this bridge. We're doing this culvert.
We're gonna do that bridge down we just built by town, so then we'll start that one again.
Yeah, so if you look at a 5-year, like,
Yeah.
where am I gonna be in 5 years?
Yeah.
You know how you joked about that thing? McLaughlin Bridge is gone, the culverts are gone, this bridge is gone. So within 5 years, those 3 bridges, that's massive, will be undertaken. That's a lot. And then the Chartier Street, like pie in the sky active transportation plan for a sidewalk, that would be done. So we're doing good.
yeah.
You need these little design shreds
Right.
to really give you a reality. We are doing something.
One of the things that when I got involved with the Bar Hill Bridge was I requested that we keep those metal handrails, those metal pieces, because that's original to that 1939 bridge,
Uh-huh.
right? So PennDOT agreed to give that
Save
to
them.
us. to
Yeah, the
sell.
county said we could have.
County, so are there any other of those pieces that we want to keep, like on McLaughlin?
Are they gonna use them on a new bridge, or are they?
No.
No, it's just,
We're gonna put them in the park and
Yeah.
say,
Yeah. And they can neat fence along the railroad tracks, like
Right,
up here, like
yeah.
get rid of the split rail fence and did something. That'd be kind of cute.
yeah,
Yeah, but they said we could have it and we could have the plaque off of it.
okay, good.
And like when they did the bridge over here, like I was sure that I got the plaque.
Oh,
We
all right.
gave it to the historical society. So they were decent about it.
I feel like I stole this from
Not from
Okay.
me.
okay, anything else? Take a motion, motion to adjourn,
Adjourn.
okay? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
I abstain.
You can.
Okay, Joe.
If you abstain, you have to say
It's
your.
on there.
Oh, wait, he's on.
Yeah.
Oh,